guys, Destiny Child here. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to leave a comment at the end of this video. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications. Today's topic is effects of unprocessed traumas in men. What are some of the effects of unprocessed trauma in men? But before we get into it, what is trauma actually? What is trauma? Trauma results from exposure to stressful, disturbing, and/or life-threatening incidents with lasting effect on the person's mental, social, emotional, physical, and/or spiritual well-being. Truthfully, anybody can go through a traumatic experience. And believe me, it takes a whole lot of strength, acceptance, patience, work to learn to process or live with them. What I'm trying to say is it takes a very strong person to accept and let go or learn to live with what happened. It's the idea of accepting this happened. I went through it. It happened to me, but it does not define me. And it's not everybody that has such strength, because you have to be physically, psychologically, emotionally strong to be able to make such decisions. So, what are some of the effects of these unprocessed traumas? 1, wayward way of life or carefree living, low self-esteem, constantly seeking validation, workaholic way of life. This is for some of our brothers that grew up in homes where they went through constant verbal abuse, where they were constantly told they were nothing, they were a disgrace, they were a disappointment, they will not sum up to anything in life. They were constantly humiliated. Normally speaking, even when you, as an adult, when you constantly call somebody something, in a way they start believing it. They start thinking. They start giving it more thought. Maybe it is. So, talk less of a child being called or told all this by his parent or parents. So, in a way, some of our brothers think, okay, if my mother or father, or if my parents that gave birth to me think I am worthless, I am nothing, I will not make anything out of my life, some of them believe that and they start living that way. They start manifesting what they were told. And some of our brothers develop low self-esteem. Like, they second-guess themselves at every twist and turn. Even when they are doing something good, or when they do something good, they seek validation for somebody to tell them you did good. Oh yes, that's good. Or to compliment them. And some of our brothers become workaholic. They become workaholics. Because they have to work twice as hard to prove to this set of people that, yes, I can make something out of my life. I can be somebody. So they devote themselves to their work. They just bury themselves in it. They do everything. They work extra hard just to prove that point or to make that point. Next is negative emotional expression. This is for some of the men that grew up in homes where they repeatedly saw their parent or their guardian, one of them being physical or verbal with the other, where they are taught that it is okay. They are told that it is part of marriage, it is part of being with somebody. So in a way, they grew up with that mentality. They grew up thinking it's okay for me to be verbal, for me to be physical with my spouse, with my partner. To them, that's a way of expression. And even for some of the brothers that get to understand that, okay, that is wrong, some of them can't help it. Not because some don't want to, but because some of them, it's embedded in them. They can't help it. Then you have shame or forceful introversion. Some of our brothers were physically and sexually abused. They don't talk about it. They bear these emotional, psychological scars So they are forced into shame. They literally have this constant cloak of shame on them. So they are forced into introversion. They are forced to become introverts. Not because they are shy. Some of them are not shy. But some of them are ashamed of themselves because of what happened to them, what they went through. They are here to process it, to accept it, to understand it, to learn to live with it. So they have this constant shame and they are forced into being what they are not. Introversion, one of it. Then we have anger issues that turns into a responsibility for some of our brothers. This is in the cases of our brothers that grew up in single parent homes. They were single-handedly raised by their mothers. Their fathers were absent, physically and otherwise. Some of them were physically absent. They were not there. And not because they couldn't be there, but because they chose not to be there. And others were there. They were present physically, but emotionally absent. They were not there. They were neglectful of their children. So some of the men growing up in these kinds of home, they grew up with anger. They are so mad, they are so angry at their fathers that some of them end up projecting them onto their children, or they become their fathers actually to their own children. Sometimes worse. Then it's okay. It is weird. It is somehow hard to understand, because if you grew up without something, you try to be that or provide that for your children. But until you understand what was missing, why it was missing, and make peace with it, accept it, the cycle will just keep repeating itself. Another effect is relationship difficulties or mommy issues that sometimes progresses into substance abuse or toxicity. Some of our brothers are not loved or appreciated or respected enough by their mothers or families in general. So they'll be looking for that in the people they are dating. So if for a while they get that, and at some point, because of whatever reasons, they stop experiencing, they stop feeling that love, respect, or appreciation from the woman, all the anger they have towards their mother or their family, which they should be taking now, or they should be dealing with it with them, they start projecting the anger on the woman, because that person was feeling that void that they were feeling from the neglect or the disrespect or whatever problems or issues they have with their parents. So now that woman stops feeling that void, it becomes a problem. Some of them become toxic, while some of them turn to substances and they start abusing them, because they don't only use them to help them cope, they start misusing them. And some of our brothers become so dependent on these substances that it becomes additional problem in their lives. And others don't even know, they don't even understand how deeply rooted their traumas are. And others are being told, or they are being advised, or offered help or support, but because they are raised in a way of, you are the man, you are a man, be the man. No, some of our brothers don't even believe in trauma. Oh, it's a sign of weakness if you think something is wrong with you, or if you let somebody tell you something is wrong with you. It's a sign of weakness or whatever. So even though they are being offered help, or even though some of them can see the handwriting on the wall, because it has repeated itself so much in their lives that they start seeing certain things. But because they're in denial, because they don't want to accept it, or because some of them are scared to actually face it. They don't want to face it. So it's best for them to just deny it. Like, no, I'm not going to acknowledge it. Even when it's staring at them right in the face, they deny it because they don't know how to start. They don't know where to start. They don't know how to go about it. So the best option for them is to deny it. So my brothers and my friends out there, know you're human. You deserve love. You deserve to be happy. It doesn't matter what people have said about you. It doesn't matter what evil pronouncement they have made about you or they have said about you. It doesn't matter the names they have called you. No, you can do better. You can be better. Those things does not define you. They are not you. You can actually break that cycle and prove them wrong and be better and tell them you are actually worthy. So start paying attention to those things that keep reoccurring in your life. Start paying attention to the things people keep telling you. If one or too many people are telling you, this is your problem, this is it, start paying attention to those things. Start giving them a thought. And let's start unlearning the things or the unhealthy attributes or traits that we were raised in, or that we learned from childhood, or some of the traumas that are affecting us. Let's start unlearning those bad traits and break that cycle and be better for ourselves. Thank you. Thank you so much for staying around. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. I want to know what you think. I want to know some of your answers. My brothers out there, leave a comment. Let me know. Okay? Thank you all, and I'll see you in the next video.